In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew a fitted bedsheet with very easy steps that are very beginner friendly. If you'd love to watch more sewing and pattern drafting video tutorials from me, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell and give this video a thumbs up so that you will not miss out whenever I post new sewing and pattern drafting tutorials that I post every week. So without further ado, let's get into the sewing of the fitted bed sheet. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my regular bed sheet, or you can use your fabric if you don't have a bed sheet. Then I'll fold it 4 times and then I'll make 4 openings, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is after folding it 4 times, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So after folding it 4 times, on this other side it will be enclosed. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get the distance of the mattress. Go on your mattress and get that distance that you're seeing on the screen. Then that distance there, you're going to add 1 inch of hemming allowance, 2 inches of hemming allowance to it. Then I'm going to get my tailor's chalk and I'm going to mark the distance that I got right there plus 2 inches of hemming allowance, and I'll mark it right here. So I'll just get my measuring tape and my tailor's chalk, then I'll mark right here. I'm also going to mark this side, the distance on the mattress plus 2 inches of hemming allowance, and also up there I'm going to mark the same distance up there. Then I'm going to connect with my ruler and tailor's chalk, and I'm going to form some form of square. As you can see, this is an L-shaped square. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out with my pair of scissors. So I'm just going to get my pair of scissors and cut out this little box. Then after cutting, as you can see, I have my little L shape there. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to open it up and show you how all the 4 have L shapes. Then next, I'm going to stitch the L shapes. So I'm just going to place it like I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make the right sides to face the right sides. Then I'm going to sew all the 4 sides on the sewing machine. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this right side to face the right sides. Let me show you the other 2 parts as well, how they'll form the L shape. So this is the other L shaped and this is the other L shaped. So I'm just going to go on my sewing machine. I'll place it like so, the right side faces the right side. Then I'm going to stitch it. Then after stitching, I'm going to trim off the excess seam allowance, because if you don't trim off the excess seam allowance, it can give you problems when inserting the elastic. So I'll do the same on all the 4 sides. I'll place them the right sides facing right sides. Then I'm going to stitch. So after I finish sewing all the 4 sides, this is how it's going to look like, as you can see. And I'm going to trim off the excess seam allowance. I'll just cut it out with my pair of scissors. If you don't trim off the excess seam allowance, you're going to have problems when inserting your elastic. So let me just show you the other sides. So this is how they look, the other 4 sides. Here, this is how they look. So after trimming off the seam allowance, I'm going to turn it to the right side, and this is how beautiful and neat the right side looks like. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hem around it. Remember, I added 2 inches hemming allowance, and this hemming allowance is where the elastic is going to be inserted. So I'm just going to hem around this after pressing these sides. So before I hem, I'm just going to fold in my 2 inches seam allowance like you have seen me do. Then I'm going to press it. Then after pressing, I'm going to stitch on my sewing machine. So after I'm hemming, I'm going to get my safety pin. So this is the safety pin that I'm going to use to help me insert the elastic into the hem that I just created. So this is the elastic that I'm going to be using hand in hand with my safety pin. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get my safety pin. So this is the elastic, and as you can see, it's stretching. It stretches very, very well. So I'm going to get my safety pin. This is my safety pin. Then I'm going to insert it into my elastic like I am doing. Then after inserting it like I have done, I'm going to get the hem. So this is the hemmed fabric that I just hemmed around, and I left one part open for the elastic to be inserted. So I'm going to just go on the opened part. As you can see, my hem looks very, very neat. It's a very neat finish. I'm going to go on the part where I left open. Then I'm going to get my elastic and I'm going to start inserting my elastic into the hem. So make sure you leave a part open for inserting the elastic. So this is the part where I left open, and this is my elastic and my pin, my safety pin. So I've just inserted my safety pin, as you can see, and I'm going to start pulling it inside and pushing it. I'll be inserting. It's going to take a bit of time, but patience definitely pays. So I have just finished inserting the elastic, and this is how beautiful and neat it looks. As you can see, it's elasticated and it looks very, very neat. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up so that you will not miss out whenever I post new sewing and pattern drafting video tutorials that I post every week. Bye.